Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com. Offer of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. It's Friday. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. This video, I want to talk about why so many women are frustrated with relationships, mainly with their relationships. Why so many women act like they don't know what they want? Not only do they don't know what they want, they don't know how to get the man that they want. Why is that? What's that all about? I mean, there's more women on this planet than men. There's more. I think, if I'm not mistaken, on every continent, the women outnumber the men. If I'm not mistaken, quote me on that. On every place I've ever been, every country, every continent I've visited, there were always more women than men. So you would think that most women would be on the top of their game because the pickings is slim if it's less men to women ratio. But that's not the case. A lot of times, a lot of women are frustrated because they settled. The guy that they got with, he wasn't first. He was the safe guy. That's who she got with in most cases. So a lot of times, if the woman, the wife, long-time girlfriend, if she's going off on the guy, it's mostly because he wasn't first. Now, things aren't going the way she would like in the relationship. Plus, she got with a guy that she wasn't really into in the first place. Maybe he was a good provider. Maybe he was into her more than she was into him. Now she's upset. Not only is she not into the guy, things aren't going the way she would like. Now they have kids and all this responsibility and a house together and maybe investments together and everything. So now maybe she has a guy that she would like to be with in some capacity, but she doesn't really know how to handle the situation in a way that's in her best interest, that benefits her. Because a lot of women don't like leaving empty-handed. And for one, this is why the divorce rate is so high, because a lot of women, when they put in most women file for divorces, and by the time they file for the divorce, she pretty much already got everything squared away on how, how she wants to leave. And the next guy is somewhere in her ecosystem. So a lot of women are upset because she's not into the guy. She's pretty much lost control of how she wanted a relationship to go anyway. Maybe the guy lost his job. Maybe he lost his contract. Maybe, he cheated. It could have been a lot of things that happened in the relationship. But ultimately, she wanted to control the relationship from day one. Because you have to understand, if a woman is truly into a guy, there are no rules. There are no rules. There's no 90-day rule. If she's into this guy, ain't no 90-day rule. None of that stuff exists. Rules are made to be broken. Rules are for the guys that women are not into. And that's real. And ask any woman that. Ask any woman. She'll tell you. That's why the government have rules. State laws and federal laws. Those laws are for the masses of people. The people that write the laws or create the laws, I should say, they don't follow these laws and these rules that they hand down to the rest of us. And women, and these laws are made to control people. And some women take on the same mindset, just like big government. That's why a lot of women are frustrated. It don't got nothing to do with the guy that they're with. 9 times out of 10. Not at all. This is why a lot of women want to have another guy on the side. Because they want the provider, and they want the guy that's going to make them scream. And this is why there's a lot of subgroups. Subgroups meaning it could be BDSM groups or swingers. This is why a lot of those groups exist, because a lot of women want to have their cake and eat it too. And I'm not saying it's good or bad. I mean, do whatever works for you. I'm not the moral police, but I've met a lot of women that are like that. What Gerard said, big government and women go hand in hand. Yeah. They basically, a lot of women basically took the way that big government rule and use it in their little micro world, social world. I call it like social underworld. Yeah. That's that's what those subgroups are all about. It's really all about women. I mean, if you go on any of these websites, swinger websites, BDSM websites, and they got it's a lot of crazy websites out here, man. All these fetish websites. That's what it's all about, really. It's all about women. Women dominate these websites. It's all about women. All about, what. See, on these websites, they can be themselves. At least feel like it anyway. They feel like they can be themselves on these websites because in their natural social environment, a lot of these women are very nervous of what their friends or family would think of them if they truly revealed how they really get down sexually or how they really live their life behind closed doors. So the idea is to find a community or create a community or a group of people with things in common, similar protocols, similar values, and they can, get to know each other. Some of them will explore their sexuality together, and so on and on. That's the whole concept. That's the whole concept of a community. That's what it's all about. And see, with some guys aren't going to tolerate that. That's just reality. Different stroke for different folks. Some guys are like vanilla. They're just simple guys. They're not really into the fetish, or race play and, the BDSM, the rough sex. Some guys, and even some women, some people just in general are not into that stuff. Not into that way of life. Sexually, socially, etc. So what happens is, in most cases, a lot of women usually end up getting a divorce because the guy ain't gonna accept that, and then she'll get married to the second guy in most cases, or what happens is she'll try and find a guy that's already living that life, that's already involved in these small sub community. She'll try to find a guy that's already involved, living that life, the life that she probably always wanted with the first marriage or the first guy she was with. And when that happens, once she finds the guy that's right for her, now she feels like she can be herself now. She's comfortable because she's kind of found her validation, so to speak. She found a guy, in some cases, that's so, I guess, comfortable in his own skin and not insecure that he's willing to let her explore her sexuality right in front of him, watching. Well, it takes a special guy to do that. That's what swingers do. It's like the other person is usually watching. Oh man. Different strokes for different folks, But hey, I'm not here to judge anybody on their sexuality. I'm not the moral police. I just call it for what it is. And I see things for what it is. And a lot of people have a hard time. A lot of people struggle with this. And see, here's the deal. I'm going to tell you why you should see things the way it is and not see things the way you want it to be. Because what happens is when you start seeing things the way you would like it to be, you start to disrespect yourself. low key start to disrespect yourself. And then on top of that, you can't solve any. You're gonna be spinning your wheels. It's going to be very difficult for you to solve any of your problems. Forget your family problems or your kids, your wife. You won't be able to solve almost none of your problems because you're going to be spinning your wheel. You're going to end up on that hamster wheel, keep going in a circle, damn near running yourself crazy. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of people um have pretty much been broken in because they just go along to get along. They don't want to ruffle any feathers. They want to be liked. They want to be accepted so bad until some people just feel like, man, I don't want no trouble. Yeah, a lot of people live their whole lives like that. You know, they pretty much do what they're told, live a subpar, average life. They just go to work, back home, watch TV, hang out with the kids and the wife. And they'll do that same routine for 15, 20 years. Yeah. They might never leave town. Not even on a weekend. Might never take a vacation. Yeah. I know people that's like that. I went to high school with people that's like that. All they did for the past 20 years is just work a job and come home, hit the couch, watch television. Wake up the next day, you do the same shit again. That's the average life. Sad but true. I don't I don't know how some people do it personally, but I think we were put here to do a little bit more than just that. To live a subpar average life. But that's just my perspective. You know, some people might see things differently. But, you know, just my thoughts. It's how I get down. But a lot of times, I'm saying most of the stuff you see on television, it's a facade. A lot of smoke and mirrors out here. A lot of just straight up lies. You know, it's like the television at this point, the news, the media, movies. At this point, it's all entertainment. You know, now sometimes entertainment can be a form of education to an extent, but at this point, it's just majority of it is just entertainment. Really, everything, even the news. Really, at this point, you know, you can't even take these people serious. These talk shows, reality shows, all of it. at this point. But the problem with a lot of these things that come on television, a lot of people believe it, especially women. I mean, they basically pander and cater to women so they can get ratings and so they can sell their products and sell ad space. So they got to have views, got to have eyeballs. People have to consume their content on television. They got to have eyeballs. So these networks, they understand this. So they'll say almost anything to get women to stay tuned, to keep watching. Because most people's perception is their reality. And women are not the exception to the rule. And see, a lot of women think that the guys that they see on television, they think they can actually have one of those guys. They think they can get one of those guys that's on television. That's the thing. See, you get what you are. You don't get what you want. But see, my philosophy is I rock with the people that rock with me. So if a woman wants to be with me, if I notice, I'm going to get to know her. In most cases, I'll get to know her, and then I'll make the decision at a certain point whether I want her in my circle or not. So, that's how I do it. But you got a lot of women out here. They really don't know who they are. They really don't know what they're capable of. I mean, it's some women, some of the guys they're trying to go after. I just know it's not gonna happen. What's this guy said? Superman Clark. Yeah, I made it out the ghetto. Check my page, it proves it. Sub if you want to know more. No, not government, because the government tried to keep me down, but I played them and got mine. Well, what happened with you, Superman Clark Kent Sr.? Yeah, see, a lot of women that the guys that they want in most cases don't want them. See, a lot of women are kind of like hustling backwards, as we say. They're trying to, you know, they're trying to go up to the ladder or step up to the ladder, but the guy is not really interested in her. That's yeah. See, most guys are not like that. I mean, there's some guys that can pull it off, but very few. But very few women, you know, can pull that off. The difference between males and females, as far as that is concerned, most guys won't even try. Most guys will say, "Hey, she's out of my league. I'm gonna fall back," right? Which That's not necessarily true all the time. But as far as women, on the other hand, the majority of guys are not interested, might not be interested in them, but they'll try anyway. You know, and that has to do with why a lot of women are frustrated, because they couldn't get the guy that they wanted. They couldn't get the guy that their friends probably got. That type of guy, whatever type of guy that is. They couldn't get the athlete. They couldn't get the rich guy. They couldn't get the guy, the corporate guy. They couldn't get the guy that was well off. They couldn't get the guy that was from a quote good family. Because most women, they like to follow their friends. Maybe they ended up with a blue collar guy. Maybe they ended up with a military guy. But regardless of the guy that they ended up with, 9 times out of 10, he wasn't first. A lot of these women, they settle, especially when they get older, 30s and 40s. See, when they hit 40s, they usually stop dreaming then. A lot of these women, when they hit 40s and 50s, they start thinking that a lot of these dreams ain't true. You know, a lot of these dreams ain't true. You know, they fooled us. Mama fooled me. Or maybe mama forgot to tell a lot of them. Who knows, you know? I mean, or maybe some, because see, a lot of these women look at television and the movies and these reality shows. They think a lot of these people are actually living like that. They think a lot of these people actually carry themselves like that 24/7. That's not the case. That's why they call it a reality show. It is far from reality. I mean, it's like I had a guy told me years ago. He was a ad man. He worked for advertising agency, and he told me if they have to tell you what's on the bottle, he said if they have to tell you what's in the bottle in bold text on the front of the bottle, there's a good chance it's a lie. So he gave me an example. He said, like, for example, if you buy a soda and if it says caffeine free or something like low carbs or fat free or something like that, he said if you really look at the small text, you're gonna find that it has about the same ingredients. They're being dishonest. So when it comes to reality shows, it's really the same idea. If they're telling you it's a reality show, they want you to believe that it's real, but it's not. What's up, man? Where do you get the music to do your videos? Wicked Beats. Oh, I met a guy on, when it comes to my music, I met a guy on I reached out to a guy on YouTube a couple of months ago, and he said I could use his music in my videos. Yeah, I really like that song. Yeah, it is good. That's why when I first heard it, I reached out to him. He's a independent R&B singer. He wrote songs for like R. Kelly, uh a couple other people, known people. And he's a producer and a songwriter and a singer. Yeah, dude, he been around for a long time. Yeah, some other people, other big names too. I just can't remember them right off the top of my head. He worked with some of the best of the best. Basically. I think he's an independent dude. He lives in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, to be exact. Say that again now. Asked me last night. I want to make a what? Camera back at you. Yeah, retype that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forget. Actually, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I'll send. I got the website. Shit. Hold up. Maybe I can pull it up real quick. Let me see. Dude, website. Nah, I don't got the website. Nah, I don't got the website right in front of me at the moment. But yeah, I mean send me. I can send it to you by I don't know, email. Okay, cool. Or just hit me up later. When I'm back online, and I'll have it next time. Yeah, what's your email? Either or. You should give me your email, or I'll tell you, or give me your email, or next time I come back online with DVD. All right, cool. I got you. Yeah, I'll send it over to you. Hey, so what? So what do you do? I'm just curious. Bitcoins. I'm still I, I don't know enough about it. To be honest. I'm still researching Bitcoins, man. Which one do you use? 300 UK pounds. So how much is that in? Well, 500 US dollars. Okay. Yeah. See, when if I don't understand something, I don't invest in it. That's why I'm still doing my own research when it comes to bitcoins. Yeah, I heard about bitcoins like last year. You can lose a lot or make a lot. Now is a good time. Yeah, I would think now is the best time to get in while it's low. You know, I mean, there's a risk when it comes to everything. You know, but it seems like the Bitcoin, what crypto coins, seem like it goes up pretty fast. It goes up fast and it drops down fast. But hey, how have you pulled anything out since you um invested? How do you know it's going to go up? Yeah, yeah. You like when it dip, yeah, that's when you a good time to buy in. You think it's gonna be over 20K by Christmas? Why do you say that? Yeah, but what look at last year. Yeah, it did go pretty high last year. What do you think from under 1K to 20K? Okay. But how much did you put in from the well, no, I'm not gonna ask that. Man, that's too personal. Yeah. But a lot of companies are starting to take bitcoins now. I've seen that. £1 in 3 months. That's good. A lot of banks are trying to get in on it now. So I think when a lot of banks they figure out how they want to organize and run it, I think that's when it's gonna be commercial. That's what I think. What do you think? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Banks can't. Banks are slow. Banks don't move fast. banks are slow compared to crypto using blockchain. Yeah, yeah, they're gonna start using blockchain. No doubt about it. I think the banks see the potential that it has without them being involved, and that makes them want to get in. But I think the banks they want to get in with their own rules. That's what I think. I could be wrong though. Yeah, yeah. I don't buy when it falls. Yeah, yeah. You buy when it falls. Yeah. I mean, if I put my money into something and if it goes down, just like the stock market, I mean, I don't panic. I'm kind of detached from the end result, to be honest. That's with anything. I mean, I don't get all emotional like that. I mean, if I have to get all emotional about it, I just won't get involved at all. That's how I operate, pretty much. I mean, that's how I operate with anything. Money, women, any type of investment, any decision making. You got to take your emotions out of the equation. Look at things. I try to look at things logically. Try to be practical about everything as much as possible, you know? Every time Bitcoin falls to a new low, it bounces back. Well, that's good. It's all about bouncing back. Hey, do you live in America or in what? UK or what? Or do you visit America or what? Where do you reside most of the time? Wales? Okay. How's it over there? I've never been there before. What's up, John? Cardiff City. Cold, wet. How cold does it get over there? Does it get zero below or I'm just curious. -10. I never been in. See, I never been in. I've never been in cold weather like that before. I think the coldest we've ever been to, I think it was like 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Normal, well, -2. Damn. What do you do when it's cold like that? It's uncomfortable going outside like that in cold weather like that. Staying in bed, that get old after a while. You live in a big city? Is it one of the biggest cities in the UK? And how are the women over there? How do women treat you over there? What's the vibe like over there? 2 million people. Okay, that's a lot of people. Well, how do women over there? What's the vibe like over there? How do women treat you? It treats you bad? Damn, man. Come on, everybody can't be ugly, man. Come on. 1 in 100 are worth it. Well, that could be true. I would say probably 1 in 1,000 is probably worth it. Probably more than that. And that's usually based. That's usually subjective, though. That's based on the guy. See, every guy doesn't see things the way you see it, and just like every guy don't see things the way I see it. Big unicorns, they do not exist. Rocking or sit, yours never find. Well, just like I said, every guy is different. Some guys want what they want, you know. Yep, perception is everything. Rock and horse shit. Now, what kind of women over there? You got European women and who else? What's the feminist women? Well, feminist women are over here in America too. It sounds like you're that like where you live at is just another city, another version of living in the USA. That's what it sounds like. Red, blue hair. They don't shave legs or armpits. Damn. Why not? Yeah, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like the US and the UK is very similar. Well, yeah. Well, so a lot of women are very what masculine over there, or what? Where you live? But hey, check. Has it always been that way, or did this just happen in your generation? I mean, I know this is all women aren't the same. Feminists hate men, but they try to be like that. Yeah, a lot of these feminist women are man haters, no doubt about it. It started in the 90s. Well, yeah, it's just like here in America. Then it's just like here in America. But in America, it started in the 60s, late 60s. But by the 90s, that's when the movement became strong. Yeah, you gotta filter out, a lot of these women today. But John T, you're from San Francisco? Just curious. New Jersey? What part of New Jersey? You near New York? First generation, okay. Second generation, okay. These Plainfield, Oh, I never heard of that. Is that feminine? Let's see. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, the first generation, okay. Second generation, okay. These. Oh, so it's a progression of feminism, basically, from first to second generation, and now today. Gotcha. Well, women today, I think a lot of that has to do with women. They can take care of themselves financially much better today than ever before. Third generation started in the 90s. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, it's just like um sounds like sounds like you live in America. Basically. Well, they're always unhappy. And they're gonna stay unhappy because they're trying to be they're taking on the worst habits of men, in my opinion. Not people say women are acting like men, but they take on the worst habits of men. They don't take on the good habits. That's why they're unhappy. That's why a lot of women they usually burn out and they don't age well and they get sick because they're trying to be men. That's the problem. That's why they get sick. They get old, age very fast, and they destroy the family. Exactly. Happiness is an inside job. Like I always say. Yeah, I wrote about that in one of my books. Happiness is an inside job. Oh, you did, John? Appreciate that, man. And what did you like? What did you like about my books? I'm just curious. What's the difference between my books and the other books that you probably read? I'm just curious. I want to hear your opinion. Oh, thanks, John. I want to hear your opinion, John. What's the difference between what I wrote compared to other people out here? There's a lot of people out here. I know a lot of these people. I met a lot of them personally. My books are easy to follow and have real life situations and scenarios. Yeah, that's true. My goal is it's kind before I write any book, my goal is to basically imagine that I'm sitting down with you, probably at a bar or sitting in front of you having a conversation. And it's easy to understand, nothing complicated, and the stuff has to be relatable to almost anybody. They might not stuff I write about. They might everyone might probably might not necessarily have the same experience, but they can relate to it. They can not they can. No, I'm not gonna say they can relate. They can understand. They might not be able to relate because they not didn't have the same experience, but they might have had a similar experience. So that's how I write. Got to see my coins. They are on a dip. Try this. Have some free. So I believe the devil's in the details. and the details in your book are as clear as day. All you have to do is follow the rules of the game. Yeah, exactly, John. Exactly. No doubt about it. You know, you cover a lot of questions and insight that others might not cover. Yeah, well, that's you got to think about it. Most people, when they write, they're basically regurgitating the same thing that the last person said 6 months ago. Because you got to think about a lot of these other people are reading other people's books, reading other people's content, and they'll go back and paraphrase it and add their little spin to it, but they haven't actually had the experience. So they can't really give much insight. The stuff I write about, I've actually experienced or seen it happening with my own eyes. So I can sit down and write about it, and it's effortless. I don't have to look up any details or really do any research on anything. I just sit down and write. It flows like water. And if someone comes back to me and asks me questions about that, right, I'll be able to answer it. Simple. Simple as that, really. But I wrote the books that I wanted to read when I was in my 20s, but they didn't exist. Your book helped a close friend of mine out who needed to hear it and needed a boost. Yeah, I'm glad it worked for him. I'm glad he got something out of it. Yeah, Hey, John, did you left me a review on Amazon? Appreciate that. I'm trying to get my reviews up, my review game up on Amazon, man. Yeah, it's only two on Amazon. Mm, 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 mm. I think women will learn a lot if they study men. Well, I agree. What you got to women don't really have to study men. Yeah, think about it. I agree with you 100%, John. But think about it. Women don't really have to study men because men are always chasing women. Men are always chasing skirts. So they don't really have to chase men. The only time women really study men is when they get older and when they're not in demand anymore. That's when women start to study men. But when they're young in the 20s, they don't have to study men. You got to think about it. People don't do what they have to do until they really have to do it. They'll feel like there's no choice. That's when women or most people will actually take action when they have to do it. People don't do what they need to do. They do what they have to do when they feel the need to. NYC Network. They don't really value a relationship until they're 60. No, damn, man, they don't wait that late, man. You think they at 60? Damn. I would say 50. NYC Network, I would say 50, not 60. At 60, they have no problem with choosing the right kind of man. Oh, well, yeah, because she's old. I mean, she's downhill. Well, think about it. When a woman hits 50, on some level, she's half 100. She's down. It's downhill for her at the age 50. At the age 60, she's just getting ready. To live out, the rest of her life. She's damn near about to die. It's probably at 60. Hit the wall. Shit. These women are hitting the wall quick today. They hit the wall at 40, 45. They're hitting the wall now. Shit. Until then, it's all about pretty boys, guys with money, and bad boys. Well, yeah. I mean, when they're young, a lot of women feel that they can get away with a lot of this shit. Yeah, a lot of these women, they're not even lasting. They can't even make it to 40 without falling apart today. A lot of these women. They get sick. They start to age fast. I mean, it's like they're popping pills. They're popping antidepressants. Or they got high blood pressure, or they got cervix cancer. These women they got all type of shit going on. They got all type of sickness going on. A lot of these women. Society don't want us to marry virgins. Shit, man, that shit is over. All right, I'm MGTOW. Are you MGTOW? Hey, what's that? Oh, well. We talked about that the other night. Red pill? Yeah, I think every guy has to make a decision. You're going to pick the red pill or the blue pill at some point in time. Yeah, every guy has to make a decision. Which pill they're going to pick. The game is cold. It can be, man. It's a lonely game, man. It's a lonely game. That's why a lot of guys pick the blue pill. You know what I mean? It's a lonely game. I had an old man tell me one time. He was like 80. Well, he passed away last year. He died. He was like 83. He said, once you put the magic glasses on, you can never take them off. Once you start to see things for what it is, you can never go back, man. It's not for everybody. It's not. Yeah, blue pill, that's the majority of guys. That's the majority of guys, the blue pillars. But once you put the magic glasses on, man, you can never take them off, man. You can never take them off, man. Ever. That's why they always say is lonely at the top and it's crowded at the bottom. Yeah, everybody, damn near every guy used to be a blue pillar, I should say. Yeah, damn near every guy used to be like that, or still is. Those are majority of the guys, and a lot of guys they're not in the position to be a red pillar. You got to think about that too. Well, love, that's another thing, man. Even that's subjective. They can only love what a man can provide. Yeah, some women see love like that. Some women don't know what unconditional love is. That's so that's we live in a capitalistic society too. So a man in this society has to be doing something. He has to be providing. If a man can't provide in American society, he's not a man. Forget about your character, your morals, your values, your integrity. If you have empathy, that shit don't count in this society. This is a capitalistic society, a very corporate society. So the values that get thrown out the window. It's easy for me to be red pill. I find out I'm more productive and get more out of life. Yeah, if you're red pill, you that makes sense because you have less distractions if you're a red pillar. If you're if you're the type of guy and if your life is surrounded by a woman, if that's if your life revolves around a woman, you're not going to be very productive. I could have been a multimillionaire if I didn't waste 20 years chasing. Yeah, it takes a lot of time and energy, you know. I think all of us, including myself, if we didn't get caught up in that matrix, we would probably be much further ahead in life. In the Bible, God tells the man to love the woman and not the woman to love the man. Remember, yeah, the Bible has been tampered with, though. So you know how that go. Women are snakes with tits. Well, yeah, there's a lot of that out here. That's why you're supposed to look deep before you leap. You don't get caught up in the flesh. The Bible talks about that. Don't get caught up in the flesh. Just take it for what it is. Take her, whoever the woman is, for what she is. Don't try and see her the way you want to see her. The devil wears red dresses. It's I don't think women are frustrated, at least not yet. No, a lot of women are frustrated. They're frustrated sexually too. A lot of women are not being pleased sexually, not being satisfied at all. You know, a lot of women haven't ever had an orgasm, man. They just want more attention. They love attention, but that a lot of women are not. Some have never had an orgasm, man, and the ones that have had it, it's probably been a long time. Yeah, so a lot of women are frustrated. They're frustrated sexually. I think that's the biggest frustration, sexually. Women just want everything. Yeah, they want everything they see, basically. Yeah, you see it at work. A lot of women they're frustrated, man. You know, sex is very important to women. More money, more cock. Shit. Sex is very important to women, and you know it's healthy to have sex. Believe it or not, you know it's a lot of good that can come out from sex if you have it if you're having sex with the right person. If you're having sex with the wrong person, well, it's all for nothing. You know, they talk about it as much as guys. Of course, they do. They love it. But in this society, if women really talk about their sexual experiences, they'll get judged. They call them hoes. This is why if you're the type of guy, if you accept women for who they are, once you get to know them, and if they open up to you sexually, man, you have a hard time getting rid of her, especially if you make her come. Women have 10x more sexual partners by the time they're 30 than most men will have it. Oh, no doubt about it. Women have more sexual partners than the average guy. I mean, the average guy, think about it. I don't know about in the UK, but I know here in America, the guys that I know, they by the time they're, I'm gonna say 40, the average guy probably had 20, 15, 20 women. That's this average guy. Women, on the other hand, they doubled them numbers. Most women today that had more sexual partners than their age. I used to think that no one paid attention to me in my work uniform, but I was wrong. Man, let me tell you something, John. There's always somebody that's watching you. There's always a woman that's watching you. They ride the cop cars carousel up in the 30s and want to simp bait them in to look after them. Yeah, it usually works like that. Women, you know, they party like a rock star, and when they start getting up in age, they're ready to settle down with a provider. But you know, there's somebody for everybody. You know what I mean? So hey, man, you know, I don't knock them, but I'm not gonna marry a woman that's been around. Hell no, I would never do that shit. I'm not gonna marry a woman that had two, three, four, five kids. Hell no. I'm not knocking the guys that do it though, but I'm not gonna do it. I would never do no shit like that. That's just crazy. That's a ready-made family. It's a ready-made family. I mean, a lot of guys I know that get married to one with two and three kids. I'm like, can you afford that shit? That's expensive, man. That's the first question I ask. No, well, I did that when I was in my 20s. I dated women with kids, you know, but it's just I would never do that shit today. It's just it's really a waste of time, really. You know, if I if I could do it all over again, go back in my 20s, I would never waste time with a woman with kids. It's just a waste of time. It's just, you know, you got to deal with the kids. You got to deal with the kid's father. You know, you don't know how he's thinking because you're over there with his kids. and especially if the kids don't like you. That's just a recipe for a disaster, really. Yeah, I mean, it's good to. I'm not saying you can't have sex with them, but don't be spending a lot of time around them. That's all I'm saying. You know, I just wouldn't. I used to spend nights at this one girl's house with her and her kids. I used to spend the night over there, and this went on for like 8 months. I used to spend the night at her house. I used to get up and go to work and got off work and went back over there. You know, yeah, a lot of shit can go wrong, but it's just a waste of time because there's a lot of women out here with no kids. So I'm like, I'm over here. She got 2 kids. Plus I'm being disrespected by a 4-year old. What? Yeah, a 4-year old that doesn't like me. So I mean, what I'm gonna say? What I'm supposed to do? I'm looking at the mom like, you gonna say something to him? Well, yeah, you know. Well, I'm gonna give you when it comes to the disrespect thing. I'm gonna tell you what happened to me. I remember, like, I went to her house, this girl's house one time, and the little boy opened the door. He's a what, 4-year old. He opened the door and says this to me: "You again." Those were his exact words once he opened the door. And what I'm supposed to say? I can't really say anything. I'm not supposed to say anything. The parents is supposed to say something. The parents is supposed to check the little boy, right? So, I just let it slide. But eventually I just got tired and I just got out of that situation. Yeah, I didn't think it was worth it. Yeah, bad parenting. But when you're young, man, I was young, I didn't think about any of that stuff. I was just thinking about the cooch at the time. All I was thinking about was the cooch. That's why I was over there. Yeah, more than likely. I know I wasn't the only guy. I know that much. You know. Yeah, but when you're young, man, you know, you don't be thinking like that. I know I wasn't. But looking back on that experience, that taught me a lesson. I learned from that. And I never made that mistake again after that. Yep. You know, I just don't think it's worth it. Now, if you have kids and a woman has kids, okay, knock yourself out. But if you don't have any kids and she got kids, man, forget about it. Why do women friends set you up with women that don't have your best interest in mind? Because they're looking out for their friends, John. They're not really looking out for you. They're looking out for their friends. That's why. I've seen women I used to go to school with taking loads of men back to the house. The kids are like, "Who this?" The mother will say, "It's uncle." The mother said, "That's uncle." Okay. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's why, John. Yeah. They're looking out for their friends. They're not really looking out for you. Yeah. I've had women that tried to pull that bullshit with me too. And then I've had women that did the opposite. They were trying to look out for me. You know, that happened probably more time than the other way around. Women trying to look out for me more so than the other way around. Which that's how it's supposed to go. Shit, what the hell, you know? But if a woman tries to do that with you, John, that tells you something. That if she tries to hook you up with a woman that don't have your best interests, that tells you something about her. You need to be getting the hell away from her. Yeah, you don't need to be rocking. You don't need to be hanging around nobody that's like that. Yeah, thanks NYC Network. Yeah, women lie for other women all the time. No doubt about it. It's the girls' club. I gotta go get a blanket because the game is cold out. Yeah, it's the girls' club. They lie for each other all the time. Yeah, that's pretty standard. Found out for myself when she fucked off for a meal of her ex 9 years before we got together. Yep. Another thing, when it comes to women having sex, it's nothing you can really do about that. Really. You know, I did a video talking about that, 2 days ago. I mean, brothers are going to have to travel to find a more level playing field. Yeah, you know, traveling is priceless. It's true. Women will always go back, even if 1 year or 50 years down. Women will go back if the guy made them feel a certain type of way. Because women will always compare their experiences around guys. They say they don't, but they're not being honest. So if you make her feel, if you make her have a certain type of experience, or if you make her feel a certain type of way, she's never going to forget that shit. I don't give a damn if it's 5, 10, 20, 30 fucking years. It's like right now, there's women in my past. Like for example, if I get in my car and drive to Charlotte, North Carolina, right now, there's at least 2 to 3 women I can call up, and I'll say, hey, I'm in town. Are you available to meet up? They will fucking drop that phone and be like, just come over. I'll meet you anywhere you want. Just like that, you know. And I don't have to ask them if they got a boyfriend. They don't even care, you know. Yeah, you don't need friends like that, John. Yeah, the sex usually gets old after a while. Damon, you're right about that. Yeah, good sex is good now, but you're gonna get tired of that shit over time. You know, you can keep it going though. But I think if you blown her back out, I think you as a guy will probably get tired before she does. In most cases. At least that's been my experience. I got tired of it much faster than she did. Not saying it wasn't good after years or months or whatever, but women they love sex. They really if they really into you, man. They won't ever. It'll be long. She'll be almost addicted to you, like drugs. I'm telling you, you have to turn her down. You know, you have to turn her down sometimes, man. It's funny. I meant it was an episode that Judge Maybelline had in her courtroom one time on her show. I think it came out like 2-3 years ago, and the wife basically all she wanted the husband to do is give her sex every other day or damn near 5-6 days a week, and that's basically all. That was her biggest complaint. Because she was like, hey, you don't work. All I don't tell you to do very much in the house because when I get home, I come home and cook anyway. So why can't you just have sex with me? That was her biggest complaint. So that's all he had to do, and he said that was too much for him to handle. When a woman, yeah, that's a good point. If a woman leaves you, when women leave, you have to understand. When women leave, they feel empowered. When you leave, when they leave, they feel empowered. Now, if a guy dumps a girl, oh, she takes that very hard. Yeah, women take if a guy divorces a girl or dumps a girl, oh man, that she'll be crushed. But if a woman leaves you, she feels empowered. She feels liberated to a certain extent. Yeah, yeah, Damon, I agree with that. Yeah, it is meditation. It's a form of meditation. I agree with that 100%. It doesn't sex with um sex by itself, it doesn't work long term. I agree with that 100%. It has to be something else. You have to have some type of foundation. You know, I mean, you can have good sex and have no chemistry or nothing in common at all. Cosmic Warrior, what's up, man? You've been around a while. They will cut up your shit, set fire to the front door, nail the back door shut. Then they find you. They will see. I don't know what that's where you tried to get out. Cut. Well, women are very emotional. So, you know, that's just what it is. They do what they feel. Basically, everything is based on feeling, how they feel, and they get all hyped up. They get all emotional. Like, you hurt my feelings. You know, they'll tell a story to get to the point that they're trying to get. 90% of the time, if you listen to every woman, they always tell a story. If you ask them a question, they have to tell a story. Start, middle, and an end. But if you ask a guy a question, he'll get straight to the point. Stretch marks on the back door. Okay, better to stay away from them. Well, I mean, at some point, you have to interact with women in some capacity. Unless you're going to go out into the wilderness. I think that's not going to happen for most guys, John. Is that John? Who said that from John? No, John didn't say that. A man from the UK, DVD BNN1. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Most guys have to interact with women in some capacity. If they work a job, you know, that's so you got to manage. You got to be able to manage your time and your actions around women. They will change the locks on the door, on the house you bought. And well, I wouldn't put up with that shit. A woman changed the locks on the door that I live in. I would not put up with that shit. There'd be some consequences for her doing that. That's just me, though. That's just me. Hey, hold on for a sec. I'll be right back. I'm back. I gotta go get the pizza. Get the pizza. That's funny. Drain the lizard. Hell yeah. You're right, Damon. That's funny. Hey, what y'all doing on what y'all doing tonight? Y'all party? Y'all go to the clubs or what? Just curious. At work? It's 2:47? Damn. That's late, man. I'm staying home with my wife. That's cool. Bill Burr and that's cool. trading bitcoins, you will never sleep. Shit. How often do you trade? Just curious. I hear that. Gotta make that bread. Gotta get the bag. Gotta get the bag. That should be every man's goal. Get the bag. Damn. Yeah, I'm writing a new book now, John T. Should be out end of the year. Yeah. Should be out the end of the year. Then I'll do another. Then I'm gonna do a money making book. I'm gonna do a money making book next year. Try to get mine reserved. Yeah, I'll let you know whenever when I have it posted. I'll let you know. Well, you want to publish, John? On the 26th of March. On the 26th of March, the petrodollar is on its last battle. Should rise, people lose faith in flat BS. And silver should rise. You could be right, Damon. What you want to write about, John? Cool. Yeah, music is, I love music. I love music, man. I think today is the best. It's the best time to get into publishing. Anything. I don't care. Books, music. I don't care what you got. This is today because of the internet. Internet has changed the game. It really has. You don't need anybody's permission anymore to do anything. Really. You don't have to wait for anybody to do anything. Not really. That's about over. Yeah, publishing is very broad. Yeah, you got DVDs, you got audio, video, music, books, tapes. It's very broad field, man. Out of all the channels on YouTube, you break down how many the best. Really? Cosmic Warrior, really? Why do you say that? What I haven't listened to other people. What do they say? What have I said that they don't say? You know, I don't listen to a lot of these other people online. Unless someone sends it to me or something like that. That's another avenue to monetize or teach people how to publish. You're a Marine on that. Yeah, I mean, if people want to learn, I'll teach them. I'll teach people anything they want to learn. You know, but I don't run into a lot of people that want to learn very much of anything, really. It's how deep you go into the mindset of why people do the things they do and the goals they seek. Well, yeah, that has to do with I've been living longer than most people that's on the internet. It has a lot to do with it, Damon. And then I know a lot of people that live that lifestyle. That has a lot to do with it too. That's why I can go so deep on so many different topics. It's the reason why you're underrated. Maybe. You could be right about that. I never thought about it like that. You know, I just stay in my lane. That's all. You know, I just stay in my lane. That's it. I don't call anybody. I don't call anybody's name. I don't bash anybody. I just stay in my lane, man. That's it. And a lot of these other people that you probably know of online, I've met some of these people in person before. Yeah, I met some of these people in person before. Some of them are cool. Some of them are cool. But not the majority of them. Unfortunately. But even still then, I don't see anything bad about them. I'd be like, if he's doing that over there like that, okay, you know. But, you know, the people that's on television are no different than the people that's online. The majority of people online are doing the same thing that the people on television are doing. You know? See, what you have to understand is some of the best speakers are the biggest criminals. Yeah. So whenever I meet people that are good speakers, well spoken, very polished, that's like a red flag to me. Plus, I go into detail things a man must do in order to turn his life around and make himself a top pick. Well, of course, you should be wanting. Every guy should want to be the best he can be. I don't believe any guy really wants to be average or mediocre at anything. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. You will get 1,000 subs back up all your content before YouTube goes. It creates back up your content mirror on Steemit and TTube. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know much about Steemit and DTube. It's just cool to see brothers are putting out healthy content. You used to think to be better yourself. As a listener, you can pick, choose what you want, and how to implement it. I can't stand the media. They always coddle a certain group, especially whites and women. Of course, because the media they want to sell ads, advertising, and they need eyeballs. They need people to watch. So it's like a dog and pony show. It's like shock and awe. They just have to keep people glued to the television. You're the only YouTuber I've watched that said the American dream is a lie. Well, there's a lot of reasons for that. Most of the people online, they came to America. More than likely, that you probably listen to. So they're not going to say the American dream was a lie. They want to be a part of the American dream. So they can't say it's a lie. They're still trying to get it. They're still trying to find it. They're still trying to attain it. We call it a dog and porno show. That's funny. Yeah, the people that they're not going to say the American dream is a lie if they're still trying to get it. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense if you really think about it. And most of these people, they just be trolling anyway online. They're just saying anything to get views in most cases. Because a lot of these people, like I said, I've met them in person. And when you meet them in person, they don't really have anything to say. They're not fun to be around. Yeah, they just share stuff that's in pop culture. You know, they just regurgitating the same shit over and over. But if you meet, man, let me tell you something, man. Especially where I live at. I live outside of Atlanta. And I see a lot of these rappers, entertainers, and when you meet a lot of these people, they're not fun to be around. Not even for 5 minutes. A lot of these people are not fun to be around. A lot of these people I meet off YouTube, and I've been meeting people off YouTube for years. For years. I mean, at this point, I met hundreds of people from off YouTube, from MySpace, Facebook. A lot of these people are not fun to be around. You meet them, they're very reserved, quiet, shy, don't really have anything to say. But when the camera comes on, it's like cameras is in action. It's showtime. Yeah, you know. So that's just what it is, man. They'll get more views than me. YouTube actors. When the lights on, it's showtime. Yeah, these people they'll get more views than me, no doubt about it. They'll always get more views than me in most cases, but they probably won't last. They won't have the longevity like me though. They're not gonna last very long. Some of these people don't have a brain. Yeah. Their heads are filled with gas. Yeah. Live current John Doe obvious. You decoded the being. Yeah. A lot of these people they won't have the longevity like me. They'll come and go. They'll start, quit, start, quit, start, quit. That's what they're gonna do. I've seen this happen to people for like shit over 10 years now. Yeah. So that's just a part of the game, man. That's all. That's all it is. And you gotta understand, a lot of people they live their whole lives like that. Start, quit, start, quit. Start, quit. Every 6 to 12 months, they got a new deal. They got something new. In most cases, you know, they live their whole life like that. They never finish anything they started. Never. Even their relationship is built upon the same ideology. They always looking for the next new thing, next new clothes, next new car, next new man. It's like that. Plus, I've watched a few of your earlier videos where you break down some of the major things that make most black communities so crappy. We stood divided for decades. Yeah. I mean, we've been man, look, man. I don't think I have watched one bad video. Well, I try to make every video mean something. I try to have a message, you know, that that at least every person that watch can get something out of. But hey, there's some people don't like what I be saying in videos. I get down arrows. I get down arrows all the time. New vision. Okay. Yeah, McCosmic War. We've been conditioned to hate each other. That's why we're so divided. And this is by design. This didn't happen you know, by luck. This was like a very sophisticated plan that started 499 years ago, to be exact. This August, check this out. This August of this year is going to be 499 years of chaos. Yeah. So this didn't happen by accident. 499 years of chaos. Yep. And the same tactics are being used that was used 200 years ago. It still works today. Yeah, I study history. And I study my family history. I study world history, especially my family history. I study my family history more than anything else. But if I look at just my family history, the same tactics used on my family were used 200 years ago. It's still working. And you know, 5 books. Ooh, man. Okay, yeah, I got this. Get a book called Brainwash by Tom Burrell. Matter of fact, I'll type it in. Yeesh. Brainwash by Tom Burrell. That's a good one. And let's see. 5 bucks. There's a fool born every moment. If one doesn't study history. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, Damon. And another one, The Science of Getting Rich. How important would you say the information on CNN and Fox News is? The people that believe in this BS society the most are the ones that piss. At this point in time, when it comes to CNN, Fox, the news, it's just entertainment. At this point, Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Waddles. At Wallace Waddles, they think they know everything, yet know nothing about Black history or even. Oh no! Don't get it twisted, Cosmic Warrior. There's a lot of people in the dominant society know about history. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Not at all. No, no. Let me tell you something. I know guys. I know white guys that live in $400,000, $500,000 homes. They got libraries in there in their homes, and they got more books on Black history or African history, I should say, than I do. So don't get it twisted. They know who we are. They know who we are. Even some of them, even the regular people that follow CNN and Fox, they know history. They don't they'll play that dumb role on you. Now maybe the people that if you work a job, maybe the people that you work with, they might not know the history. But the people that walks I'm gonna say a good people in power positions, they know history. People like Trump, he know history. they know history. They know. I mean, you can't be a person in a power position without knowing history. You just can't be. You can't be in a power position and not know history. It's almost impossible if you really think about it. You can't be in a power position. So I got 2 of them. Brainwashed by Tom Burrell. Signs of Getting Rich by Wallace Waddles. So I got 3 books left. Let's see. Mm, Let's see. Shit, I done read so many books, man. It's kind of hard. Uh, da-da. I would say get Rise and Grind by Damon John. Yeah, Rise and Grind, that's a good one. Rise and Grind. Yeah, Rise and Grind by Damon John. That's a good one. It's a new book, but it's a good one. I believe that white supremacists know the history for sure. Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I got another one. So beyond the beyond the E myth. By Michael Gerber. It's a business book. Michael Gerber. Yep. So that's one. I got one more. Black on black violence in the service of white supremacy. Amos Wilson. Uh, I haven't read that, but Brainwash by Tom Burrell talks about a lot of that. Yeah. So I think that the black on black crimes, that's kind of that's kind of a myth. It's kind of a media creation. Because if you really think about it, all people do crimes against one another. And I've been around a lot of different people. The same thing I see with them, the same thing happen with black people. People do crimes where they live. If they're going to do a crime, they're going to do it where they live. They're not going to drive across town to do a crime. Now it doesn't seem that way because it's on a TV screen and we're looking at it all the time. We're being bombarded by it. That's why it doesn't seem. It seems like other people aren't doing any crime against each other. But that's not the case at all. You know, that's not the case at all. So the black on black crime that's kind of a media hype, I would say. That's all it is. People, these other groups of people do crime all the time, but nobody's looking for them. The KKK, exactly. I mean, the KKK don't even matter to come out no more, man. They're the doctors, attorneys, teachers, police. The black KKK are historically known for killing white people. There's no such thing as a black KKK. What are you talking about? Watch the video on YouTube before you rush to judgment. Respect well. Oh, gang members? What about them? What about gang members? Yeah. I mean, yeah. So what's the point? I didn't. I said black people aren't doing anything special to other black people compared to the rest of the group of people. I mean, the first gangs were white, so that they're not doing anything different, or it's not like we're special because gang members are got beef against other gang members. It's nothing new. We live in a gang. This whole country is really have a gang mentality anyway. And you have to realize gang culture, that's a different way of living, a different mindset. I don't understand the gang culture, to be honest. So I can't really speak on it. But I've known guys that have been affiliated with gangs. And it's a different way of living, different way of thinking. That's like a subculture that's different from how people function in society. One more book. Yeah, I got one more book. I got to think about that. The last one. Uh, I would say. Well, yeah, you got to cut people out of your life that I'm about to cop the love can't wait joint. I appreciate that, Daniel. Yeah, you got to cut people out of your life that's not in your best interest. People that don't champion you. People are not in your corner. People that say it ain't gonna work. People that downplay stuff that you do. People that are very negative in your circle or in your environment. You got to get rid of these people. Even family members are not off limits either. You don't got to get rid of them, but you can spend less time with them if it's a family member. This is why a lot of guys don't get a lot of shit done because of people that they have around them. Dream killers. A lot of guys don't like being by themselves, and they think if they really say what's on their mind, the woman is going to leave. You got to really get comfortable being by yourself first before you let anyone into your life. But it usually doesn't happen that way for a lot of guys. We usually hustle backwards. Francis Cress Wilson, Dr. Peace, brother. Let's recharge my daughters. All right, peace, man, Damon. Yeah. Worse than any nightmare, dream killers. Yeah, it's dream killers and time wasters. You know, that's what you're gonna have. Most people you have around you, more than likely, they're incompetent. And they think they're hot shit. in most cases. I'll be back. Give me a second. Yeah. I'm back. Crabs in the barrel mentality. Okay, this time it's for the pizza. No, man, I don't eat pizza like that. Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? I know the other book. The last book is by Grant Cardone. Sell or Be Sold. That's it. I mean, there's so many books I can tell you to go get, man. Really. Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. Yeah. Yeah, those are the 5 books, man. Yeah. There's a lot of books that I read over shit at this point. I read over 1,000 books at this point in my life. Yeah, most of the oh, you're welcome, John. Yeah, most of the stuff I learned, man, I read from books. Majority of it. Especially when it comes to business and making money. Hidden Colors was a documentary that really exposed so much stuff about the government and its oppression on black people in a major way. It was a big breakthrough. Yeah, Hidden Colors is good. Yeah, I met Tariq. I met Tariq years ago. Know any other documentaries that are just as good? No, unfortunately, no. Tariq is those documentaries. Hidden Colors is pretty much. It don't really get too much better than that, brother. That's pretty much. I think that's the standard at this point. A lot of people don't realize Hidden Colors really changed the game when it comes to entertainment films or just entertainment content, period, or publishing, period. Yeah. I think a lot of people don't realize that. I don't really think too many documentaries can really. I don't really think you can get better than Hidden Colors. I don't think anyone is ever going to be able to compete with that. I really don't think so. I showed people who were asleep Hidden Colors, and it literally changed people. Yeah, yeah, man. Because I think there's a lot of information that just didn't get passed down to a lot of people. See, I think when I was growing up, I had to ask for information. I had to ask questions. Then my parents, they would tell me. But see, my parents, they were older. They were like in the my grandparents and my parents, they were older. My grandparents passed away last year. She was 102. And my mom passed away last year. She was 83. So my parents were older than most. And my dad passed away. He was 86 2 years ago. So my parents lived much longer than the average parents. They were older, but they still lived much longer than most people's parents that I know. And they live in a different time. They lived through, my grandparents lived through slavery and Jim Crow. And my parents lived through Jim Crow. Jim Crow South Carolina, to be exact. So that's why I wasn't in the dark when I was growing up. I mean, of course, I didn't know everything, but I knew enough. I wasn't walking around out here blind. And plus, when I went in the military, that's when I really saw the big picture, big scheme of what was really going on around the world. So if you show someone hidden colors, some people might have anxiety. They might. Some people won't believe it. Some people might be in denial initially, and I understand why they would be. I understand it because if someone told you you weren't shit for like 499 years, and all of a sudden, hidden colors is about history, world history, basically, which is the only history really. Okay, you can buy it on Amazon. Yeah. So if you kept looking at the television, someone kept telling you one thing, which is a bunch of lies, and all of a sudden someone tells you the truth, it's going to be hard for you to take if you've been living 25, 30, 40, 50 years of your life. So that's what's happened to a lot of people. Yeah, it is eye opener. Well, church religion is a part of it. And religion is a part of it. See, religion is a part of it. You can use religion, and actually you can use religion in a productive way, really. But most people don't use it like that here in the United States of America. Thanks, Sam Charlie. It's been a blast. All right, John. Be easy. Well, yeah, Daniel. We live in a capitalistic society. Church is big business now. I- It can be scary sometimes. But you can't live in fear. You shouldn't live in fear anyway. Man, it even broke down why there are certain important events left out of the credible books of history. Well, yeah, they can't. They have to, because you got to think about it, Cosmic Warrior. If they put everything in the books, then they'd have to take responsibility for it, and they have to be accountable. They have to do something about it. So for them, it's a business decision. The government or the people that's behind big government would have to do something. See, they see it as a business decision. They don't. They're not looking at it from a moral point of view at all. That's how we look at it. We look at everything. We look at it good morals, bad morals, all that good stuff. But these other groups of people, they don't see it like that. They don't see it like that at all in most cases. They have different morals. They have a lot of these other people don't groups of people, they have no empathy at all. They have no empathy at all. That's why if anything happens to you or me or anybody, they won't feel anything. They'll just move on. I mean, like one less person we got to worry about. It is messed up, but that's how it is. People have become desensitive. They kind of don't really feel anything. They act like robots out here today. That's why you gotta think for yourself. Sometimes I hear people who were in the army say they can't live anywhere else in the world, but they love to travel to different countries. Why might that be if so many are oppressed here? I don't know. You have to ask them that. I think that's an individual thing. People have great praise for the Caribbean. Great praise for the Caribbean islands. Why do they have praise for the Caribbean islands? What do they say about the Caribbean islands? Actually, I know some guys that actually live in other countries to this day. I think that's an individual thing. You got to ask them why. The culture is more friendly. Yeah, the culture is more friendly. In some places, you know. Are you talking about mainly? I guess you're talking about the Caribbean islands. Yeah, I heard about the Caribbean islands. People are very friendly. The women actually choose more often. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. They even shun Haiti. Why do they shun Haiti? They help with the founding of America. Abraham is important. Yeah, that's true, Cosmic Warrior. They help with founding. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true, Daniel. You're right about that. You're right about that, Cosmic Warrior. I have some people have left and never come back. Oh, no doubt about it. I know a lot of people that's left America and never came back. And they say they ain't never coming, they ain't never moving back over here. They'll visit. And I feel them. I mean, I go visit some people from time to time. Every couple of years, I go visit people that I know. I know in Japan. I still got friends over there. What other place would be great to move? I think that's an individual thing. I don't think there's one place that's good for everybody. Because, like, for example, I know some people personally, they like Japan. And then you got some people that would not live over there. And then you got some people that do. And then you got some people that they like Australia. They like living in Australia. But you got some people that don't. So it really depends on the person. Then you got some people that like living in Vietnam. Now here's the thing about Vietnam is it's more veterans living in Vietnam than anywhere else in the world. That's like the top place for veterans to live in Vietnam. Why is that? Why is Vietnam the top place for veterans? I don't know. It's always been like that. Maybe it has something to do with the war. I don't know, man. I really don't know. But depression, probably. I don't know. But I know a lot of guys over in Vietnam, man. They're living over there. They've been living over there before we were born, before I was born. You got like second generation people, kids over there in Vietnam now. Vietnam is nice over there, man. It's like a lot of places, they got cities just like, they got the country. And then you got places that's built like New York City or Atlanta or Chicago. But, you know, just curious what resources they got over there. The resources Vietnam have, I think they got the same resources they had before they went to war, basically. I don't know specifically, but they still got the same. The only thing that's changed about Vietnam, I was told, is they built cities. That's the only thing that's changed. But the country areas is still the same. I haven't been there yet, by the way. But eventually, I mean, I'll go over there and visit my brothers. I think there's a lot of places that people can go and live outside of America. Dubai is one of them. I think Dubai is nice. I could live in Dubai. I could live in Mexico. Yeah, I could live in Mexico. Outside of Cancun. I could live out there. I just have to have something to do. That's the thing. Philippines, I haven't been in the Philippines yet. But from what I was told by people that's over there, they're living pretty nice. Philippines is a very poor country. But here's the problem with the Philippines. More than any other country. What has happened is everything is toxic. Everything is poison. The food is poison. The water is poison. Everything is poison in the Philippines. That's the that's the problem with the Philippines. More, it's quite very different from any other country. It's different from Thailand. It's different from poison like poison. The water's poison. The food is poison. There's a high. There's a good probability if you go to the Philippines and eat some food, you're probably gonna get sick. You know, so that's the thing about living in the Philippines. Now they have their city areas too. They have their city areas, and the city areas are nice. And then you have the areas that's the country areas or the small towns that's not so nice. Yeah, population control. Yeah. Philippines is a very poor country. I'm talking like third world type poor. I'm talking like 60s type poor. 50s and 60s in America type poor. Like 30s, 40s, 50s. That's type poor. That's how the Philippines is. But if you got money, you can still live nice in the Philippines. You know, there's a lot of people that live over there. How can an American buy? Now, yeah, Brazil. A lot of people leave here, and go to Brazil. A lot of brothers do it. Yeah, I don't know anyone that's over there personally, but I've heard a lot of people that know other people that know of people that went to Brazil. They started businesses and started doing some work a job, some got businesses, all kind of shit. Then some of them retired and went to Brazil. Some retired, save up some money, and they kept going back and forth. They'll go for like 60 to 80 days, then come back to American soil for a couple days, then fly back. I know a guy that did that for years, like 4 or 5 years, until he got established in Brazil. And he said, fuck it, and just moved to Brazil completely. Yeah, Brazil have beautiful women. That's where these women are. I don't know. They seem how funny. Yeah, they're very beautiful women. No doubt. Yeah, every you know what? I don't think I've ever met an unattractive Brazilian woman in my life. I'm serious. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying I've never met an unattractive Brazilian woman. And you're not going to meet many of Brazilian women in America anyway. Not many. Yeah, and beautiful women. All shapes and all sizes, all shades too. The dark ones, the light ones, the whatever. Long hair, short hair, whatever. And everything real. And you don't need no plastic surgery. You don't need no plastic surgery. I'm telling you, man. So when a lot of brothers go over there, a lot of brothers over there doing pretty well. You know, they get treated right. A lot of them have families. So I said, hey man, more power to you, man. You know, I can't knock it. You know, if they're living the life they want to live, hey man, knock yourself out. I don't downplay it. You know, I don't act like, you know, a lot of, the funny thing is a lot of brothers that go over there, even if they go over there for a vacation, there's this thing in society that the guys that go over there on a vacation go there because they can't get a woman here in America. That's that type of message is in the mainstream media. If an American woman looked the way Brazilian women did, then it would be more understandable why women here are so hypergamous. Well, I guess, you know. But the reason why a lot of American women act the way they do over here, it don't got anything to do with how they look. It has to do with us being in a capitalistic society. Because if you want women to turn against the guy, all you got to do is just give them benefits and more opportunities. That's it. And you got to take the opportunities away from the guys that you want them to disrespect. It's simple as that. And then when the guys start to complain, you want to act like ignore them. Act like you don't know what they're talking about and play dumb. And they're gonna start bickering, going back and forth. And then you can pay certain people to do the dirty work after a while. Because someone is always willing to be paid, be compensated well in any society, amongst any nationality or group of people. That's just what it is. Especially if the person or the group of people is always seeking validation. That's just what it is. And that's one of the biggest mistake a guy could ever make, in my opinion. You're seeking validation. That's the biggest mistake a guy. That's one of the biggest mistakes a guy can ever make. It's because you're gonna get caught up into that in the matrix. You're gonna find yourself trying to please everybody. Try to please your parents, try to please your grandparents, try to please your woman. It's an endless cycle. It's never gonna stop. Yeah, Europe is very similar to being over here. That's where a lot of this shit comes from. It comes from Europe. Shit. Yeah, a lot of this shit comes from Europe. That's going on over here. If there wasn't no Europe, if Europe didn't exist, it would be no America. Yeah, that's where a lot of this shit comes from. It comes from Europe, brother. I think you got to think about Spain is in Europe. Spain is in Europe. Spain is in Europe, brother. No, they don't carry themselves better. Not at all. They're just more honest. That's about it. They're just more honest. They don't they don't have that status quo in these other countries like they do over here in America. And that's the only difference. But they don't carry themselves better. Really. That's why a lot of people that leave America and they go to some place like France or Spain or Italy. They'll go over there for vacation and be like, these people are rude over here. No, they're not rude. They just treat you accordingly. They're not going to kiss your ass like they do here in America. Yeah, but they're not. Yeah, they don't. They're not very. They're just more honest. That's the biggest difference. Yeah, that's the only thing. Like if, for example, let's say you go to Russia, you probably they probably turn your ass around. But let's just say you go to Russia, right? Let's say you're in the military and you go to Russia. In Russia, they don't. It's no secret. They don't like black people. Like African people, black people, whatever you want to call it. They don't like black people. Black African people cannot live in Russia. That's what it is. You gotta, if you live in Russia, you gotta have a good reason. You have a job, you're military, some type of specialized occupation going on, something like that. But black people cannot live in Russia. So it's like that's what it is, and it's not like no one's hiding it, anything like that. Yeah, Russians they don't like black people. They're honest with you. I met women, Russian women, back in North Carolina that told me this shit. I mean, I knew about it before they told me, but they're very honest about it. Russian women, I mean, they're cool. You can talk to them. Like I said, they're honest and upfront about what they want and what they're looking for. Daniel, where do you live at, Daniel? You live up north? You live in Russia? A lot of Russian women are in, they usually flock to the big cities: New York, Atlanta, Chicago, LA. That's where you see a lot of Russian women at, the big cities. Miami, Russian women just as fine as the 70s show. Shit, I don't know, man. Cosmic Warrior, I don't know. I don't know, really. I think they seem to be, they come in all shades, I would say. All shades, all sizes. Some of them are, Caucasian looking, and you got some of them a little darker, but they might have blonde hair, some shit like that. Well, most Russians, they have a heavy accent. That's how you can tell that they're pretty much Russian. I mean, this is a very heavy accent, much heavier than anybody else you would meet. Of course, Cosmic Warrior. Of course, they still exist. Go to Germany. Shit. You're from Boston. There's Russians in Boston. Daniel? I can't believe that they are completely wiped out. I can't believe they are. What do you mean you can't believe they wiped out? Yeah, a lot of Irish in Boston, Irish, Italians. Yeah, a few, but I see more Irish. See more people than Italians. Yep. Yeah, you see a lot of Russians in New York City. World War One was the no. What happened is after the war, people pretty much camouflage their hate, just like they do in America. They can't. They people didn't really just like the Klan. It's like a secret society. Yeah, they move like the mob, just like the Klan. The same thing. They move the same way. All of these organizations move the same way now. That's they do business. They have a different code of conduct than they used to have. They have a different code of conduct. That's all it is. They just do business a different way than they used to. They have different protocols. That's all it is. But everything still exists today. Everything still exists. You got to think of these groups don't come out. They don't show their hand until they need to. That's all. They don't show who they are until they need to. Otherwise, they'll stay camouflage. That's why secret societies exist. All these groups are connected, man. They all work together in unison, kind of. I mean, they don't step on anybody's toes, but they work together in unison. They all have the same goal. They want to maintain power and influence. That's what it's all about. That's it. That's the game. This world is run and controlled by power, influence, then money. See, a lot of people think the money comes first. No. It's the power, influence, then money. Money's last. The money's last. Money's used basically to pay people, keep score. That's all. The money's like a scorecard. That's all. So a lot of women get caught up in the money game. I live in Baltimore, and most day by day black people I encounter seem hopeless and different. Their education and making money because that hopelessness that comes from not having. That comes from lack for a long time. That shit. Look, poverty runs you crazy. Runs some people crazy. I can't see anything similar to white people. This shit together. Well, I don't know, man. I hope you're wrong about that, Cosmic Warrior. You know, I believe that anything that's built by man can be destroyed. But I understand that there's a lot that's against us. There's a lot that's against us. The deck is stacked against us. No doubt about it. Sometimes I wonder. But I don't think it's going to happen. If it does happen, if we do get up out of this shit, I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime. When it happens, we'll be dead. The next generation, I'm going to say the the 19 and 20-year-olds coming up today. I'm gonna say that the 13, 14, 15, 19-year-olds coming up today, they're gonna have to do it. They're gonna have to do it. The people today, they're not. They don't. I don't think most people have the mental capacity to really outthink, outmaneuver, outsmart, and combat a lot of this shit that's going on today. I don't think so. The younger people, they're gonna have to do it. The younger people, they're much smarter than us. Believe it or not, but they don't. You know, they're much wiser and much smarter than us. You know, can another Malcolm X ever be possible? He was from the streets, and he was a dude was a powerful leader. Another Malcolm X says, "I'm only 26, 10-year-old or dumbass dude." Some of them are, but I'm talking younger than that. I'm talking younger than 19. I'm talking younger than 19. I'm talking like 12, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds. I met some 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds that's smarter than the parents. They got most common sense than the parents. So I think they're gonna have to that's if the parents don't see, the parents will fuck the kids up too. Cause see, when a lot of times when I was talking about dream killers, some of these parents are dream killers. Cause see, a lot of times once the kids start the experiment with certain things, the parents will come around and try to dilute the shit, basically. But if the parents don't bother the kids, the parents let the kid go and let the kid learn, that might be the next Malcolm or better. I think he'd be better than Malcolm. But see, a lot of the parents think something wrong with the kid. Oh, he's different. He ain't like everybody else. He ain't like the rest of the kids. Then they'll put the kids on drugs. And see, then it's over then. You know what I mean? So that's what happens to a lot of kids. A lot of kids are very, very intelligent when they're young. But as soon as the kids start going to school, then you got that teacher that's mistreating the kid. And then the kid goes home and tells the parents what the teacher did. Then the teacher, you know, the kid goes home and tells the parents what the teacher did. Then the parents will believe the teacher. The parents will downplay it and say, "Hey, you probably done something wrong anyway." And time goes on, the teacher's continuously mistreating the kid, right? And then the parents start taking the kid serious. Then the parents goes out there to talk to the teacher. The teacher lies. Say, "Hey, I didn't do any of that stuff. I would never do a thing like that." So that scenario, you know how many times that scenario plays out between teacher, parent, and child? That plays out 5 days a week. Religion isn't as strong today, but the media, such as the music and BT, well, the child education school doesn't, and then do for the next year. The media, much I can still see people being controlled. I went through what you just. Of course, a lot of people went through what I just explained. It happened to me too, but the only difference is my parents had enough sense not to fall into that bullshit trap. Yeah. See, these teachers, mostly these teachers are white teachers, white women to be exact. They don't know anything about black kids. They don't care. They don't understand kids. They don't understand us. And they don't want to be there anyway. They're just there because it's an easy check. And it's hard to get fired. That's the only reason they're there anyway. Half of these teachers don't even want to be at the school that they're working. They're there because they don't have a choice. They had to settle. They got mortgages. As a matter of fact, I told somebody this months ago. If these women that work at these schools didn't have bills, the public school system would have been gone a long time ago. They got bills now. They got mortgages. Look, I'm not a big fan of public school system. They just shut them down. They shut them down. I mean, they're shutting them down anyway. They're going towards the charter schools. Just shut them down. Public school. Most of these public schools are horrible. They're criminalizing a lot of these public schools now. So just shut them down. You know, I mean, why? If you're going to criminalize the public schools, why have them open? Just shut it down. I'm not a fan of the public school system at all. Really, I'm not. It's and it hasn't changed since I was in school. So it's just a waste of time. You know, most kids aren't learning shit anyway. Most kids are bored. So it's just a waste of time. Most of the shit they learn in school, it's not gonna benefit them when they get out. Yo, that heating and air conditioning, that shit been like that forever, bro. That's all across America. Sometimes the heat works, sometimes it don't. Sometimes the AC works, sometimes it don't. That shit been like that since I was in school. I've been hearing situations like that, and I've seen it with my own eyes. Yep, old books, same old shit. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed when it comes to public schools, man. It's the same old shit I've been hearing for fucking 30 years. It's the same shit, man. I just said just shut them schools down. Just shut them down, man. Really. I just don't at this point, I just don't see how it's just not productive, man, the public school system. But that's just my opinion. Some people, of course, they're gonna disagree with that. But that's just my perspective on how I see it. Of course they're lying, Daniel. The whole this country was built on lies. And when they killed Any kid, that's cool. Racked up millions of dollars from the public. That's the agenda to keep some. Jeez. And what they raise money for that school? Why they give this? Why they give the? Was there a lot of damages at the school after the shooting, or what? Cosmic Warrior. What they raise money for? Or donated money, I should say. Give the teachers guns for what? They scared? They scared now? Why should teachers be responsible for protecting someone else's kids anyway? And these teachers, they're not even trained to handle guns. Most of them. Maybe some of them, but most of these teachers aren't trained to handle guns. I think that's a bad idea. Why not? If you're gonna have people in schools with guns, hire off-duty cops. Money couldn't went to so many other schools, especially in the black community. Well, schools in the black community has always been underfunded on purpose. Yeah, that's always been the standard. Yeah, if they want to, I think if they want to hire people to, I don't know, patrol the schools, it should be someone that's specially trained. But teachers, that's a bad idea. Another recipe for disaster. But all right, guys, it's been real, as they say. I'm about to sign off. It's a little after 12 where I'm at the moment. It's been real. I might do this again this weekend, you know. So if you like this, man, give me a thumbs up. Share this video, if you think someone would like it. And check out my website, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.